Okay, guys, just want to go through paper 2. Okay, so for paper 2, the first question they ask you, why is it more likely for the dirt bike to get stuck in the mud than ATV? So you cannot just say same thing. Can't say surface area because surface area is the whole motorbike, whole ATV. You gotta say area of contact for the bike is so area of contact with the ground, or you can say base area. I will give it to you. Okay, so less area of contact, that's why higher pressure. Okay, so suggest one modification, two main ways, either reduce the load or increase tire weight. Why? Because reduce load, F equals A, pressure equals force over area. You either reduce the area, reduce the force, or increase the area. Okay, area of contact again. So over here, density of stainless steel produced. Okay, so what's the density? Remember, I can add volume, I can add mass, can never add density. All right. So total volume is just mass divided by volume. So what is the total mass or individually of iron? So mass of iron 60 divided by density of iron. Where is it? So 60 divided by 8 plus 35 divided by 7. 12.5 cm cube, right? So total density is just total mass, which is given here. Given here 60 plus 35 divided by total volume. That's it. Okay, 3 marks for this. So the truck continues, they say, finds it difficult to move because it has truck, as you can say a lot of mass, no problem. The keyword, you gotta say a lot of inertia. So difficult to change the state of, in this case, would be rest. Okay? So what is meant by the term center of gravity is a point, it's not a region, it's a or location. Okay, it is a point. Center of gravity is a point where entire weight appears. That's the other keyword to add. Okay, weight of the chair. So weight of the chair use anti-clockwise, some anti-clockwise moment, like the man, the acrobat equals sum of clockwise moment for the chair. That's it. So 750 times 1.5 equals C times 4. And then just work out the equation. So why the acrobat finds it easier to balance in A? So you gotta mention both. Okay, lower CG plus wider base area. Again, this is not surface area. Okay, wider base area, or I can say wider area of contact with the ground. Okay, so question 4, we got a lava lamp here. Okay, the bulb goes up and down. They ask you, use kinetic model method, explain why air has neither fixed shape nor fixed volume. We did this before. Air has no fixed shape because very weak in forces of attraction. Some of you just repeat the whole sentence again. You must use what? That's right, kinetic model of matter, okay? So no fixed volume is mainly because it's moving very fast or with large bases in between. Okay, so how does the air bubble rise and fall? We're gonna describe convection. Okay, so some of you just say hot air rise, cold air sinks, and like what I mentioned to you before, no difference. We'll give you 0 for that because you need to be different from the guys in primary school, right? You're in Sec 3 this year, so you should know hot air rise. Why? Because you know something that those guys don't know yet in primary school, which is density. So hot air expands, become less dense, that's why it rise. So cooler bubble on top contracts, becomes more dense, therefore sinks. That's it. Okay, and of course you gotta say cycle repeats instead. I'm gonna mention the word convection currents. Okay, this one most of you did it correctly. Well done. Okay, just plot out. Okay, make sure you plot it out. Acceleration, get directly from the graph, v minus u over t, 4 meter per second square. Draw and label. You see, they ask you for two things. Label. So some of you just drew the arrows, you couldn't label. Okay, so this one is accelerating, this is decelerating. So the resultant force always follows direction of the acceleration. So if this is accelerating this direction, it will be forward. Decelerating means accelerating the other way, right? So resultant force opposite to the left. Using the graph. Some of you use logic, use everything but what? The graph. So what happened about the graph? How can you tell accelerating, decelerating? How do you know this one travel more distance? That's right. This area under this triangle is much more than this triangle. Can you see that? And so what? Because area under the graph tells me distance. Okay? Alright, question 6. State the outer color in order for it to really give you retain as much of the heat. So for it to be a bad what? Emitter will be what? Polish and silver. Someone used to say black. Black will be good emitter, right? So whatever you heat up, you'll lose it. So this one, that's why all kettles are all silver, because whatever you heat, you want it to maintain and keep that amount of heat inside, right? Okay. Part B, so when steam turbine is switched on, the graph below shows how the water initially at 30 degrees is heated. So how do you draw? So initially at 30, sorry, excuse me. They said all the way to 250. So along the way, doesn't matter where it is, but it must have a horizontal line. Okay, because they tell you from water to steam. So here's water, steam. So here is boiling. That's right. Okay, so force time distance, move for work done, force given as 500, distance 0.2, so 500 0.2, 100 joules. Power generated, just work done divided by time given to you is 4 seconds here. So 25 watts, that's it. Last question, what is a longitudinal wave? Because longitudinal waves are where waves that travel in the direction parallel to the direction of vibration of particles, okay? You cannot say wave are parallel to vibrations, okay? Because waves must move first, so you must talk in terms of the direction of the wave, okay? 7.2, they tell you larger amplitude. So as long as I see this is larger, I can't really see this here. Okay, as long as this red one is larger amplitude, and there are, sorry about that, lesser period, lower frequency. Lower frequency means uh, longer period, right? I will give it to you. Okay, this one just use F, V, as calculate lambda. Can, right? V equals F lambda. Last, frequency of sound wave increase, state there's an increase or decrease. So it'll be decrease. Why? 1 mark for that, by the way. Because if I use V equals F lambda, lambda equals V over F, okay? Speed is constant. Frequency increase results in wavelength decrease. Okay, all right. Last year you already say frequency increase, right? So frequency increase, speed same, so wavelength must what? Decrease, right? Yeah. Sound travels much faster in water. Most of you got this. If you have attended this question, particles are closer together. Okay, hope you found this video useful. See you guys soon.